Hi, welcome to Boardscape. This is the second week of December, and we have 4 new games to go over on Kickstarter. Starting us off today is the second edition of Alhambra, which has decimated its goal, but granted, its goal was a meager 5,000, which is an obvious lowball for something like this. Now, Alhambra is a classic game, so if you've not heard of it, you will be able to find the base game cheaper elsewhere. Whether that's the first edition or the second edition, you can find this cheaper than the $80 that they want for the big box. This is primarily going to be for those that already know that they want Alhambra and are just ready to go all in on it, or for those who have played it before, maybe they own the original box and either want to upgrade to second edition or want the expansions. So looking here, we can see that Alhambra is going to cost us $80, and you get the big box as well as this dice tower right here, which is cool, but I would rather get just the big box and save $20, $25 than have to buy this dice tower, this tile tower. I'm not a fan of the fact that it is a necessary inclusion when it's like a Christmas bonus. Oh, look, you get this. You're secretly going to be paying for it because we could have made this $60 and we're going to charge you $20, but hey, it's a Christmas bonus, right? But anyways, Alhambra, I'm not really going to go into explaining this because it's been out for a long time. As you see here, 2003 this came out. It's a classic. Check it out. But if you are interested and have never played it, I would encourage you to look elsewhere than back this. Let alone the fact that this is a Queen Games game, which almost across the board you can find their stuff cheaper later. And one important note is that the Kickstarters that they have ran in the past have a lot of times gotten to retail before they have gotten to the Kickstarter backers. So if you're backing this to get it first or to get it faster, know that that might happen here, but historically Queen Games has not really been that great with that. Second, we're going to take a look here at Valda, a couple expansions for the game Valda. We have both The Rise of Giants as well as Ragnarok, 2 different expansions. And they will be meeting their goal pretty easily. 29 days to go. If you have Valda, then I would say that Rise of Giants looks like a good expansion to mix things up, and Ragnarok looks as though it could have been something that was easily added to Rise of Giants, but for some reason they decided to make them separate. Now, if you want the base game of Valda as well, it is going to cost you a bit of money. Just the base game of Valda is going to cost you $67, but you do get that quickly. It is an estimated delivery of January 2021. So just a couple months from now, if you want the base game, go ahead and get it, and you can have it right now, pretty much. They also have individual expansions here. The Rise of Giants for about $43. The Rise of Giants and Ragnarok for about $58, meaning they put Ragnarok at about $15, but you cannot buy it individually. If you want all of it, including the base game, then it's going to cost you, let's see here, yeah, right here. It's going to cost you $164. Now, for some people that might be worth it, but when you look over here at BGG, I mean, it's got a 7.6, which is okay for a Kickstarter, I guess, but Kickstarter games are always higher on that scale because people don't want to admit that they spent their money on poorly made products. Not that this is. I have not really looked into Valda, don't know much about it, but the weight is pretty low. When you're looking at spending $160 on a game and an expansion, I would expect weight more than this. This looks like a game that I could pick up for $20-$30 at an FLGS, but because it was kickstarted, is going to cost an arm and a leg when it really maybe didn't need to. I'm not really going to get into these expansions, but if you have it or are interested in it, you can come here and take a look. Third, we have the Winter Queen, which met its goal. Has about 2 weeks left to go. This seems like an ideal game for my wife to play with my kids if they were older. This is an abstract strategy game by somebody in the industry who has created games before, Space Explorers and Viceroy, which there are quite a few people who like Viceroy. And for being an abstract game, it definitely seems like they are trying to capitalize on Frozen and use that market to drive these sales. So, as far as that, I mean, there's no real... It's an abstract game. Setting is tacked on. It's nothing really special about it. The Winter Queen. So you're a wizard in her castle and are trying to impress her and get money. You're going to be putting little dice or little cubes. Nope. What are these? Little jewels on the board to make patterns, and those patterns are going to help you cast spells, and spells are going to get you money, and whoever has the most money at the end wins. It does seem like a very basic strategy game, or a very basic abstract strategy game. $30, not bad. Retail going to be about $40. So if you're not really sold on it, you're not really going to save much, because you go down here and you check out the shipping. Shipping to the United States is going to be $11. So you spend 30 or spend 29, add your shipping, and it's going to cost the same as it will at retail. As far as something like this goes, I would wait for retail. See what reviews come out, see what people say, see what rating it gets on BGG, and then make a decision, because you are saving no money by getting it this way. The only thing it really adds are, if you spend a little more money, you can get a couple mini expansions, which looks like this might be a game that needs them. I mean, the mini expansion for the Gratitudes is going to change up some misfortune. The Royal Jewels is going to add 5 Royal Jewel cards, which do stuff when you cast spells. And the Great Wizard is going to add a solo mode to this game. These are all things that should have been in the base game anyways, and almost look as though they were the kind of parts that are taken out just to be able to add more to a Kickstarter, to be able to add these expansions, when in reality, this looks like a game that is bare bones without it. So I guess if it is interesting to you, go ahead and spend the $37, but know that you're getting those mini expansions. I do not expect this game to really hold its value. I expect this to be a one and done kind of thing that nobody's really going to be paying attention to afterwards. You might be able to pick it up cheaper later. So it could be cool, but I'm not sold on it. It doesn't really look like something I personally ever want to ever touch ever. Finally, the big news of the week, Vindication is having a new expansion, Chronicles, that is obviously doing well, going to easily break 500,000, if not 600,000 by the end of this. 2 weeks ago, 5,000 backers. If you do not already have Vindication and have been looking at it, then this is your time to be able to pick it up. Now, Vindication, there's 1,000 videos out there. It's a game that's been out for a while. Go ahead and go watch those. They will do a much better job of explaining what Vindication is than I can, because I have not played it. But here, looking really fast, if you already have Vindication and want just this new expansion, then you would want the blue tier for $30. The orange tier gives you the base game for $90, so that's the same price that I saw it at Miniature Market a couple months ago. So you're not really saving much, you're not spending too much, but if you have been looking at the base game, $90, not bad, you might as well pick it up. And then if you want everything that there has ever been for it, then you can spend $230 and get all of it. As far as this new expansion, it is adding a lot of story to the game. One of the main complaints has been that Vindication sets itself up to be a story game, in a way, a journey as you are vindicating yourself, but then lacks in these story elements. So while a lot of the Vindication expansions and add-ons previously have not been well received, this does look like something that would drive me to purchase this game. Whereas before, I have been very much in the camp of I want to try this before I buy it. If you are interested in this game, then anything that they had unlocked for the base game before, you will get if you purchase the game now. So all these extras, all these stretch goals that they unlocked during the first Kickstarter, you get if you purchase the game. So if you are on the verge of purchasing Vindication, if you are thinking about it, or if it's anywhere on your horizon, go ahead and get it now so you can get all this extra stuff. As we scroll down, it tells us a little bit here about what the expansion is, that it is a deeper narrative journey that is added to the game, as we said before, adding relics and monsters and companions, all these things that make more of a narrative journey. You will also be customizing your character's legendary journey while doing all these other things. You'll be unleashing legendary powers as you go through the game, responding to events that happen and alter the game. You'll be making choices, options 1 and 2, that will impact which direction the game goes. And then there's a couple other things. And then they have a community design promo pack as well. So again, Vindication, I am definitely thinking about going in here for both of these and going about 120 on them to get Vindication so that I can play it. I've always been in the camp of I want to try this before I buy it, but even though I don't know much about this expansion, the idea behind it gives me enough that I want it. I also know that this game is one that is going to hold its value. I will be able to resell it for that $120, or at least get $100 back if I end up not liking it down the road. And I want all these cool looking things. I mean, why not? If I'm gonna get it, I might as well get it. So that's Vindication. I'm ready for it, I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to play it. Over the next 7 to 10 days, I will be making a new one for December week 3, and hopefully being able to cover ISS Vanguard on GameFound. Now, it's supposed to release in just a couple days from now, but I'm going to wait, hopefully be able to see exactly what all there is, and just lay that all out for you. That is a game that I am extremely excited for and cannot wait to cover. So until next time, game on.